University of Redlands following the 1999 football season. After his retirement from the U of R, Coach Miller's passion for coaching continued in the professional ranks, spending more than a dozen years coaching in the CFL. He ultimately became the head coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, where he led them to 3 Grey Cup appearances and the 2007 Grey Cup championship of the Canadian Football League. Ken Miller was a great coach, but more importantly, a fantastic and beloved mentor, colleague, and friend to many. He had that magical way of making you feel like you were the most important thing happening right now, no matter the situation. Tonight we honor Coach Ken Miller and his many years of service to the University of Redlands and the Bulldog student-athlete experience. Bulldog football and baseball will honor Coach Miller by wearing decals on their helmets throughout the 2024-25 season. Ken's son Bob, an '89 Bulldog baseball alum, will serve as our honorary captain this evening, joining the team captains and officials at midfield for the coin toss. Now, if you would please join us in a moment of silence for Coach Ken Miller. Thank you. The captains for tonight's game for the Chapman University Panthers, number 0.
You're listening to KMET, Banning, Redlands, San Bernardino, your home for Bulldog football. And we are on the simulcast tonight. If you're looking in, I hope you can see it because we don't have a monitor, so I can't tell you what you're looking at, but they tell me we're on a simulcast. So if you are just joining us on video, glad to have you along. And we are at Ted Renner Stadium in Redlands for the SCIAC Conference opener, Redlands hosting Chapman, as the captains for both teams will go out to midfield for the coin toss.
Tonight's Bulldog captains, number 3, Evan Agwan. Number 3, Maximus Susi. Number 13, Matthew Lissing.
This is a matchup, Chapman and Redlands, that throughout the last decade or so had been really dominated by the home team. But last year, the Bulldogs broke through in September of 2023 when they had a huge second half and beat Chapman down in Orange County by the score of 38-17. Coin toss. The captains are on the field for both teams.
See what the referee tells us.
Coin is in the air. And it.
You'd like to defer. You'd like to defer? That means you're going to have the ball?
It looks like Chapman won the toss.
Chapman deferred, and Chapman wants to defend the end zone
Chapman
to our left.
Toss, defers their options in the second half. Redlands will receive.
All right, so the Bulldogs will get the ball first. Mitch McClellan, Brett Malik with you. Happy you've joined us, whether you're on KMET Radio, KMET1490am.com, our free iPhone or Android apps, or you're looking in on video on Flow Sports tonight. Right now, we'll get ready for our national anthem.
Remove your hats as we honor America with the singing of the national anthem by the University of Redlands Choral Union. Beautiful.
Our national anthem as we get ready for Bulldog football on a Saturday night here in the Inland Empire. If you were with us on the radio pregame, we told you this is the first official home game. The one 2 weeks ago was postponed due to smoke, and we wound up playing Sunday morning at Claremont College. But tonight feels like a home game with the sun setting off behind the mountains to our left, behind the American flag. And Redlands in the maroon uniforms, ready to go. Again, we told you on the pregame show, Evan Agwan is back at wide receiver for Redlands tonight. We'll see whether Jax Lee is able to go at defensive end. And this is the third game of the season, and Redlands has had all kinds of injuries on the left side of the offensive line. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Much has been made about the problems running the ball for the Bulldogs, but a large part of that is the fact that they've been running through a lot of people on the offensive line due to injuries. So that will be part of a story tonight as well.
Game time temperature here in Redlands is 77 degrees with clear skies, very little wind. Chapman will be kicking off. Redlands will be traveling from our right to left as we see it here in the press box. Two returners back deep for the Bulldogs.
Cal Breen back deep for Redlands. Jax Hudson's kick is away. And this one bounces and draws the penalty flag at the 5-yard line. So the Bulldogs will start on offense. As you heard, they'll start at the 35-yard line.
The starting quarterback for Redlands tonight is Jaden McKee. Jaden McKee is a sophomore out of Tracy. Went to Kimball High School up there. Had a rough time against Linfield's defense. This Bulldog offense has got to find some rhythm early in this ball game.
Khalil Alicia Arambles gets the start at running back. He'll be offset to the left of McKee. 1st and 10. Arambles on the right side, lowers the shoulder, and pounds it out to the 37-yard line. So a 2-yard gain. Arambles at times last week at Linfield looked good and was able to riff off a couple 9, 10-yard runs largely on his own, dragging tacklers along the way. Let's give him 3 yards. 2nd and 7 Bulldogs, again out of the pistol. Cheney, the tight end, in motion on the right. And McKee unloads across the middle, incomplete. Looked like that was intended for Cal Breen. He was the closest one to it. We were talking about the passing game, Brett, with Jim Good, and a lot of this is timing between a new quarterback and new receivers, and if they connect on the route or not.
Well, and it's also going to be affected by the fact that Chapman is putting 5, 6, 7 guys at the line of scrimmage and forcing the offensive line to choose who are they going to block.
Here comes the rush. There's the pass, and across the middle it is caught. And it's Breen with the catch. And Breen has the first down at the 36-yard line. His brother goes to Chapman and is on the team. He's a defensive back, number 28, and if he's out there, we'll see you. If they go head-to-head, that would be something too. Chapman jumped, but they got back, so no flag. 1st and 10 here as McKee takes a look over at the Redlands sideline. Now backs off center. Pro set, 3 wide receivers. Wing back on the right. And Arambles up the middle again. Not much doing. To the 34.
Chapman, at least against Redlands in the past, has been very aggressive on defense. And so far, on the first 4 offensive plays, they've lined up at least 5 players on the defensive line. And then a couple of plays, there have been more than that. So what they're basically telling Redlands is we're gonna try to stop your run and force to throw the football.
Motion to the left. McKee rolling that way. Looking, throws off his back foot, incomplete, intended for Agwan.
McKee's pass intended for number
So
3.
3rd and 9 coming up.
Pass is incomplete.
Now, I know it's early, but if you're a Bulldog fan, you know they have struggled to score, and I'm just going to put it out there. You'd like to see them get the first down here, but if they don't, you wonder whether they'd go for it on 4th. And the decision will probably rest on how many yards they get on this play.
Now this time Chapman only puts 4 on the defensive line.
McKee with time across the middle, and it is tipped and intercepted at the 20-yard line and returned back. I believe that was Jacob Gotti who came down with it. Redlands had an open receiver, but Gotti backpedaling made the play. So no score. Chapman gets the ball, and we're back after this.
Pass incomplete from number 10, Luke Peterman. Second and 10.
Second down and 10. Chapman with a throw on the left side, high and incomplete. First down was an incomplete pass from Peterson on the near sideline, and that one incomplete on the far side. By the way, if you are watching on video tonight, this is a simulcast. If you're listening on radio or the apps, you're hearing the commercials. If you're watching on video, you're not. So now you know. 3rd and 10. Peterman taking a look. Chapman will go 4 wide again, 2 wide receivers, and the Bulldogs will play it straight up with a 4-man front. Peterman with time. Airs it out across the middle. Catch made. First down. And a nice catch it was by Tyler Pacheco, who got upended but held on.
Yeah, the quarterback, Luke Peterman, threw that ball into a lot of traffic over the middle of the field. And it sure looked like Craig Hunter was bearing down on Peterman's right side of his body. Peterman got that off just in time.
On the ground and out across the 50. They'll spot that at the Redlands 49-yard line.
Rushed by number 20, Gio Ursino.
Ursino gets the carry and a 6-yard gain. So 2nd and 4 coming up. And that time it was Craig Hunter on a stop for Redlands.
Ursino's been the workhorse for Chapman, averaging about 23 carries a game for over 130 yards in the first 2 games for the Panthers.
Now Chapman's going to come out of the stance. Everybody takes a look over at the sideline. Play clock is at 6. And Peterman gives to Ursino again. This time he is hit, falls forward, and has a couple. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2 as the Redlands defense got there. Anthony Hall plugged the hole and then got some help on the tackle. Pacheco will leave the game here. Chapman's going to go with an extra running back, Andrew Letu. So 3 men in the backfield, quarterback and 2 running backs. And Ursino on the left side has the hole and looks like he's got enough.
Rush by number 20.
To the 44-yard line, the Chapman drive will continue.
Brought down on that play by number 3.
Yeah, I thought the Bulldogs strung that play out pretty well, but Orsino just basically lowered his head, and he made his own hole there. I thought got a little shaken up on the tackle. He got the first down by about a yard, and he's out of the game now for the Panthers.
Maximus Susi on the stop for Redlands. Letu stays in at running back here on 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Now Letu goes in motion. 5 wide, and Peterman airs it out deep and incomplete. On the fly pattern, he had Cade Zimmerman. Was past his arms into the end zone.
And that was good coverage there by Lawrence Williams, the sophomore defensive back. He was right in his hip pocket.
One SCIAC game this afternoon. Pomona beat Laverne 27-20.
Thanks to the Laverne quarterbacks throwing 5 interceptions in that game.
The other SCIAC game tonight has Claremont at Cal Lutheran. 2nd and 10, Bulldogs. With pressure on the right side, and Ursino on the left takes a hit and goes down. That was not Ursino, that was John Loggeman. Loggeman getting the carry, and that will be a first down.
That was a pop pass, so that'll count as a completion. And Loggeman really got strung out on that play, but he was able to cut it back to his left on the right side of the field, and he picked up the first down.
By number 51, Matthew Perez. First and 10.
Peterman keeps it himself up the middle. Now on the outside and gets to the sideline and goes out of bounds
Number 10, Luke
with the first down. Jax Lee is out there at defensive end for Redlands.
Number 12,
He was questionable. And on the stop for Redlands was Elijah Valles. So Chapman methodically moving it downfield here, just under 9 minutes to go, first quarter, no score.
And at the Bulldogs 17-yard line.
Redlands will put 4 on the line of scrimmage here. And Chapman with a full house backfield, 4 guys. Pacheco takes the snap. He hands it off. And a short gain inside the 15.
21, Jake Foy.
Foy getting the carry. Jake Foy, number 21. A 3-yard gain.
Number 3, Maximus Susi.
Jax Lee's going to leave here.
Second and 7.
So 2nd and 7.
Well, Pacheco stays in to play quarterback. If you're wondering, he has not attempted a pass so far this year. So you wonder if Peterman got shaken up on that tackle here on the near side a couple plays ago.
Pacheco will run it himself, 15-10, and swirls his way inside the 5 for a first down.
Number 6, Tyler Pacheco.
Tyler Pacheco listed as a wide receiver.
The play was made by number 3, Maximus Susi.
Susi gets another tackle for Redlands.
Chase Hunter.
But judging from what I've seen so far,
First and goal for the Panthers.
he can be a Wildcat quarterback. I don't know if he can do this for the whole 60 minutes, but at least on this drive, he's performing just fine.
They'll hand it to him again, and he'll keep it himself and go in for the touchdown. From 4 yards out,
Rush by number 6.
and Chapman takes the early lead.
Touchdown for the Panthers.
Yeah, the Wildcat play, he just ran it off left guard and left tackle. That's where the hole was, and Pacheco able to score that touchdown, and that's his first rushing touchdown of the year for the Panthers.
Jax Hudson
Jax Hudson.
telling the sideline, we need one more guy out here. And Chapman will bring on an extra player. They still have 15 on the play clock.
The extra player was the holder, which can be very important on an extra point.
Ursino, who gets it down. And Hudson's kick is good to make it 7-0. Chapman, you're listening to Bulldog Football on KMET.
Chapman Panthers 7, University the Redlands Bulldogs 0. We are proud to announce KWB Wealth as a major sponsor of Bulldog Athletics. Why KWB Wealth? They've served individuals, families, and business owners since 1996 with the sole purpose of helping people build and live a brighter financial future through unbiased financial advice. Recognized in national financial publications for our excellence, we don't just manage your money, we help you create a vision for your life, your retirement, your legacy. Imagine a future where every decision is supported by professional guidance, where your goals are within reach, and you're on your way to achieving your vision of financial success.
The Chapman kick is away, taken at the 2-yard line, returned to the 5, 10, up to the 15, and down about the 17. That was Khalil Alicia Arambles on the return. So Redlands offense will go back to work for the second time. That turnover on the interception gave the ball to Chapman, and they marched it downfield and punched it in. Bulldogs will start at the 16-yard line here. McKee back in the pistol and gives it off up the middle, and there is nowhere to go on the left side. And there is no gain on the left side. Jackson Kennedy got the carry. They're still trying to find out who the running backs are going to be. I mean, we're in the third game of the season, and they have tried, I think, 6 different ones. Arambles has definitely had more yards by a lot than anybody else. On second down, that pass is deflected and almost intercepted. It was almost like a volleyball spike, and it went back towards McKee, but a Chapman defender had a chance at it before it hit the grass. By the way, speaking of the grass, the field surface here at Ted Renner Stadium looks great. There's only a handful of grass fields left in Division III football in the West. Pomona just went to artificial turf, so you've got Redlands, Claremont, and Puget Sound. 3rd and 10. McKee with pressure is hit and dropped at the 13-yard line. You can call that a coverage sack because nobody was open.
And Chapman rushed 6 guys, too.
By number 26.
So Redlands goes 3 and out.
It'll bring up a 4th down and 12 for the Bulldogs.
And this punt will come from the goal line.
Back to punt for the Bulldogs, number 90.
There are 2 return men back deep for Chapman.
Aiden Petruska's punt is taken. I thought he called fair catch, but apparently not.
It was a very late signal.
But no penalty flag. Chapman's got the ball about the 47-yard line. Bulldog football was brought to you by the Wolf Tax Service. Intelligent, persistent, and reliable. You'll get a complete tax package for your personal or corporate taxes that includes service throughout the year and personal attention from former Bulldog football player Dennis Casino. He's a pro who knows your particular tax situation. Give Dennis a call in California, 951-306-4686. Put the Wolf to work for you, 951-306-4686.
Luke Peterman back in at quarterback for Chapman.
And Peterman slings it out on the screen left side. And Foy is up to the 50-yard line. The 2-yard gain.
Yeah, that was a lateral backwards pass, so Orsino will get credit.
Jim Good, very complimentary when we ask him about Chapman this week. Some of the things they do and the looks that they bring that are hard to prepare for.
3-yard gain on the play. It's
2nd and 7. Wing back on the left this time. 2 wide receivers. Motion. And it's the old end around. And they trip it up at the 49-yard line. Loggeman, as they ran that for the 2nd time. And coming up to force the defender inside that time for the Bulldogs was Jaden Thorne.
1-yard gain on that play.
It's 3rd down and 6.
At the Bulldog 48.
Yeah, this is where Redlands has got to. They got to ramp up this pass rush and put some pressure on the quarterback.
Motion to the left. And Peterman from the gun. Steps up, pressure, and down he goes at the 50. Bulldogs got a great pass rush that time, and getting credit for the sack will be Anthony Hall, number 91.
Peterman looked to his left, and he didn't like the first read. He tucked the ball down, and that's where Anthony Hall, the sophomore from Seattle, was able to sack him on the play.
Carson Nichols on to punt, standing at the 35-yard line. Agwan back at the Redlands 10 on 4th and 7. Kick is away. Good one. And Agwan will just let it bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Bulldog football brought to you by GTG Law, the law offices of Gav Gabriel. Call 562-758-8210 to schedule an appointment. GTG Law gives you aggressive protection of your rights. Legal service for clients is across the state. If you need help in employment law, personal injury, business litigation, or more, give GTG Law a call or go online to gtglaw.com. All right, Bulldogs looking for some offense here with McKee and a 3-wide receiver package.
5-man defensive front for Chapman.
And McKee's throw, Agwan's got it, hangs on, dives, and should have enough. 1st down, Redlands.
Run pass option. And Agwan was tightly covered, but a good throw there by McKee.
Having him back really helps that young quarterback, and if Breen can be the other guy to go with Agwan to work on the other side, then they've got something they can work with. 1st and 10. Agwan goes in motion. Arambols at the 30, down at the 31. Tried to get outside, could not do it, and a good tackle by Alexander Terriquez, the senior linebacker. We'll be right back here next Saturday night as Laverne comes in. First of 2 games against the Leopards this year. We'll see them here, and then we'll be in Laverne in late October. McKee being chased, room to run, 35-40, 1st down, 45-50, and down at the 46-yard line.
A good decision by McKee. He saw that the outside receiver, that was Julian Walker, basically got tackled out of bounds. And that opened up all kinds of space here on the near sideline for McKee to scramble and pick up good yardage here for the Bulldogs.
Minute 51 to go, 1st quarter, 7-0. Chapman with the lead. Coach is signaling into play, and McKee will come set at the pistol. Chapman stacking the box again.
5-man defensive front.
Motion left. Arambols to the 45-yard line and pounds it for a 3-yard gain.
Tackle on that play was made by number 94, Tyler Hill.
Tyler Hill gets credit for the Chapman tackle.
Rennick Martin.
Second down and 7 coming up.
3-yard gain on the play. It's 2nd and 7 for the Bulldogs.
Walker working on the near side at wide receiver. And on the ground they go across the 40-yard line. First carry for T.C. Williams. Normally the fullback they use in short yardage, and that time makes it 3rd and, let's say, 2. Agwan will be in the slot on the right. Williams stays in at running back.
Again, a 5-man defensive front here for Chapman.
And McKee unloads, looking for Walker. Incomplete.
There's a flag down, however, on the near sideline. And head linesman threw it. He was looking at the area in which Walker was trying to make that catch on the near sideline. Now, somebody pushed off, and we'll see who it was. I think it was on Walker.
Pass interference. Defense number 1. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
So it goes against Chapman. Reddick Martin called for the penalty.
I didn't quite see it that way. First of all, I think Walker pushed off on Martin. And second, that ball wasn't catchable in the field of play.
The Bulldogs will take it at the 25-yard line. T.C. Williams stays in at running back. And McKee gives it to him, and T.C. Williams to the wide side. Good open field tackle, brings him down. They tried to go long and stretch it, and Colin Keefe came up to make a good tackle.
The Chapman defensive game plan is very, very simple. They're going to stack that box, put 7-8 guys up at the line of scrimmage, and they're going to force Redlands to throw the football.
Final play of the half, the quarter. After 1, Chapman leads Redlands 7-0 on KMET.
The University of Redlands would like to thank all of this season's sponsors for their valuable support of Bulldog Athletics. They include PPM, SMM, Lee & Associates, Tilden Coyle Constructors, Morrissey Architecture and Planning, SCI, KAR Construction, and Brian R. Bloom Architects. Please show your thanks by utilizing these fine businesses.
Bulldog football brought to you by Nectar Juice Bar, as you just heard. Also by Handel's Homemade Ice Cream in Riverside and Eastvale. Big sports weekend coming up. We got the Rams and the Bears tomorrow morning on KMET Radio. 9 o'clock pregame, 10 o'clock kickoff. Friday night high school action. Cajon at Beaumont for first place in the Citrus Belt League. And a week from tonight, the U of R will host the University of Laverne, 6:45 for the Bulldog pregame show. Hope you'll join us for those on the radio, online, or on the apps. By the way, the apps are free. You can download them anytime. All right, second quarter begins, 2nd and 11 for Redlands. And McKee looking to throw. Pocket collapses. He rolls right. Unloads. It's caught. And getting out of bounds is Cheney, the tight end. Grant Cheney on that pattern to the sideline, and that will be a first down for Redlands at the 13.
6-man pass rush for Chapman, and McKee did a nice job being able to escape that and roll to his right and then continue to look downfield for his tight end.
Jaden McKeeve, a sophomore from Tracy, California. Cheney goes in motion. McKee being chased, keeps it himself, and dives out of bounds maybe a yard on the Redlands sideline.
Keeper by number 5.
I like what he did, though. He didn't force it.
And it looks like Chapman is going to
Out of bounds by number
be
60, Tyler Boynton.
consistent with rushing 5-6 guys, whether it's a running play or a passing play. They're going to force either the running back to make a guy miss, or in some cases the quarterback to make a pass rusher miss.
2nd and 8 with the ball at the 11-yard line. Now McKee comes under center, says a few words, and backs out. Arambols is the running back. And Arambols takes it and is down inside the 10.
By number 4, Kaleo Alicia Arambolas.
7-0, Chapman leads it. 13:30 to go first half.
1 yard.
Chapman substitutes a defensive back in for a defensive lineman. So they'll have 6 defensive backs in the game.
Bulldogs are going to bring an extra wide receiver in, Ethan Knight, number 7. He'll work in the slot on the same side as Breen. Now Knight goes in motion. McKee is hit and dropped at the 14-yard line.
Jaden McKee
So
brought
4th
by
down
number
coming up,
46 for the Panthers.
and
Jake
Redlands
Zimmerman
will bring the field goal unit out.
plays 4th down.
And this will be Sergey Rodas Mendoza
On to attempt the field goal.
to attempt a 31-yard attempt from the right hash mark.
Number 97, Sergey Rodas Mendoza.
Marcosian to hold. Snap, it's down. Kick has the distance. It is good. Bulldogs are on the board. Chapman leads 7-3, 12:21 to go first half on KMET.
This week we had a Bulldog recognized as the SCIAC Defensive Athlete of the Week for the first time in his career. Brady Bachman from men's soccer, who helped lead the Bulldogs to a 1-1 week, beating Chapman University 1-0 in their SCIAC opener before drawing 1-1 with UC Santa Cruz. Bachman was solid between the posts for the Bulldogs, posting the shutout against the Panthers, and then played 73 minutes against the Banana
hell?
Slugs, not allowing a goal. Way to go, Brady.
Redlands kicking off to Chapman, and the Panthers with a good return from the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and out to the 31-yard line. Kickoff was high and deep.
Tyler Pacheco.
Pacheco, who's been everywhere tonight, returning the kick. He was not one of the deep guys either, but made the most of that one.
By number 88, Scott Blankenship Jr.
Blankenship on special teams for Redlands. Ursino is back in at running back for the Panthers. Luke Peterman has gone all the way at quarterback so far. Motion to the near side. Ursino gets the carry, and Ursino is stopped after a 2-yard gain.
By number 20, Gio Ursino.
Hodges came up on the tackle for Redlands, and Andrew Placido,
Number 0, Craig Hunter.
freshman, was there as well for the Bulldogs.
On that tackle.
Placido's from Hayward, California, up in the Bay Area.
Two-yard gain on the play. It's 2nd and 8.
Call it 2nd down and 8 for Chapman.
33-yard.
Three wide receivers on the top for Chapman. That's where they go, and that screen pass is caught. Missed tackle, 35, 40, and a first down. out to the 43-yard line.
Pass complete from number 10, Luke Peterman.
That was John Lagerman that made the catch and then made the first guy miss, and that's what was able to – he was able to get that first down because of that.
Chapman running some new people in. Amir Adams at wide receiver will work on the right side this time.
He's their leading receiver, and he is yet to be targeted so far tonight.
High snap, play action. Peterman throws, and it's caught. 45 up to the 50, going out of bounds. It's Lagerman on the left side this time.
Yeah, Amir Adams has 3 touchdown receptions already this season. So the Bulldogs are basically trying to take him away and force Peterman to throw the ball to someone else.
Bob Owens over on the Chapman sideline, longtime head coach. Owens spent some time at Whittier before Chapman. There's such a thing as a coach's coach. It probably would be Bob Owens. Everybody has something good to say about him. Ursino to the 48.
Rush by number 20, Gio Ursino.
Again, that's Sami Abdul Mahid on the stop for Redlands.
By number 56, Sami Abdul Majid.
9:45 to go first half. Chapman leads 7-3. Remember, Chapman will get the ball to start the second half, too. 3rd down and 3. Bulldogs playing this like they're expecting a run. And Ursino is tripped up and would appear to be short of the first down marker.
By about a yard.
Hodges came up.
That play call to me is an indication that Chapman is going to keep their offense on the field and go for it.
Well, they're going to give him the first down.
That's a very generous spot at best.
Considering where it was marked originally, yeah.
You know, that looked like the ball was marked at the 47-yard line, and then all of a sudden the ball got moved up.
Well, Panthers will take it. Peterman is ready, taking a look at the Bulldog defense.
That's Pacheco.
That's Pacheco on the direct snap, and he is upended. And that play will lose a yard.
Yeah, Craig Hunter saw that immediately, and he knew that it wasn't going to be a passing play. It was going to be a quarterback power all the way, and he just filled the hole and made the stop.
Javier Sandoval was also on that tackle for Redlands. He's a junior from San Bernardino.
And Peterman's back in the game. And I mean, Chapman could try that, those sort of plays, maybe down inside the red zone. In this part of the field, I'm not a big fan of this Wildcat quarterback.
Receivers on the right side, and Pacheco will take it again. Room to run, 40, 30, and has the first down to the 25. He is dangerous in an open field.
Now, the difference on that play was that Peterman was in there at quarterback, and he was lined up as a wide receiver, and Pacheco faked the pitch to Peterman in the backfield, and that got the attention of the Redlands defense, and that's how Pacheco was able to break that big run. And here goes Pacheco out of the game. But when Pacheco is in the game playing Wildcat quarterback, there's no threat of the pass at all.
Jason Bruce at wide receiver on the near side. They give it back to Foy, and a late flag thrown from the umpire behind the play. This one probably is coming back.
Usually that's a hold on the offense.
Told you it's been a work in progress for Redlands. And the penalties were better last week.
There is no foul on the play for holding. Second down.
They're going to pick that flag up.
Then why throw the flag? I mean,
that's always what I wonder, too. It's like if you saw, obviously he saw something because he threw the flag.
And that's the umpire's responsibility on a play like that, is to look at the line of scrimmage.
So did they talk him out of it, or?
Somebody did.
2nd and 11. There's the pass to Foy, 30, 25, 20. And about the 18-yard line, it'll be 3rd down and short.
And it looks like Chapman, at least on this drive, is going more to the quick game as far as the passing game is concerned. I think the fact that the Bulldogs were able to get to the quarterback in the backfield on the last possession, that Chapman kind of changed up their offensive strategy with Peterman getting the ball out of his hands quickly.
Panthers are ready. And Peterman gives to Ursino, or Peterman keeps it rather on the left side and fights his way for the first.
Ball carried by number 10, Luke Peterman.
Luke Peterman gets to the 15.
Yeah, and the quarterback made a nice read there. That's a zone read off to the left. Ursino, if he would have handed the ball off to Ursino would have been in trouble in the backfield. And Peterman saw that room to the left and took it and picked up 6 yards. And here comes Pacheco in the game. And again, Pacheco as the Wildcat quarterback, you know it's going to be a run. Peterman's out of the game.
So 1st down, Ursino's in the game, but let's see if you're right.
Yeah, if you're the Bulldogs and you see that, load up the box. Put 6, 7 guys up there.
That time they give it to Ursino.
Yeah, and he got stuffed.
As you said, they were loading up the box. Be 2nd down from the 10-yard line.
If you're Chapman and you go to personnel like that, you might as well hold up a sign saying, "We are going to run the ball between the tackles on you." Because there's no mystery as to what Chapman can do here. There's no threat of the forward pass when Pacheco's playing the Wildcat quarterback. Now he goes out and Peterman comes back in, so now you got a dual threat back there.
And Ursino stays in at running back. Motion to the right. Peterman being chased as he throws under coverage. Big hit. Catch was made by Amir Adams.
Yeah, I think that Peterman was looking towards the end zone in the corner, and there was a receiver in the right corner of the end zone, but Peterman didn't like the coverage there, so he checked it off to the short receiver, or at least shorten the pattern, and that's Adams, and Adams got leveled there for a very minimal gain.
Well, 3rd and 7 coming up from the 9-yard line.
And again, you got Pacheco in there, quarterback. You know he's not going to throw the football.
Well, he's looking like he wants to, and now he does, and it's incomplete.
And that's why he shouldn't be trying to throw the football. You know, that's just not going to work. That's a wasted down there by Chapman.
Well, 4th down, and we're going to see the field goal unit.
Yep, they're coming out. Now, Chapman has not attempted a field goal so far this year. And this will be about a 26-yarder from the right hash mark, so the kicker will have to hook it a little bit to his left in order to make it.
So Jax Hudson will try it for the first time this year, but
a whistle
before the kick.
Prior to the snap, timeout. Redlands, their first charge. Timeout of the half.
All right, we'll keep things here.
Yeah, the referee said timeout Redlands, but he pointed towards Chapman.
I noticed that, yeah.
And I think he might make a correction.
We'll take a quick timeout and come back right after this.
Hey kids, coming up at halftime, we're going to have some fun on the field. It will be time for you to take the field. All kids ages 12 and under will be invited down to the Bulldog field to participate in a fun Take the Kid to the Game activity. Kick a field goal, catch a pass, make a tackle, have fun.
There is no charge timeout to Redlands. 3 timeouts still remaining. 4th down.
All right, well, Redlands did not get charged for the timeout. And the kick is up and good. So it is now Chapman 10, Redlands 3. And we're going to step away for another timeout. Redlands will await the kickoff when we come back.
All right, kids, it's time to start making your way down to the west end zone. And halftime will take the field for all kinds of great football activities.
Chapman's kickoff goes into the end zone for the touchback. How long are we going to say on that field goal, Britt?
26 yards.
All right, so
that's the first made field goal of the season for the Panthers.
Chapman 10, Redlands 3.
Well, this officiating crew has already picked up a flag, and then they awarded a timeout to Redlands saying, oh, no, my bad.
Well, during the timeout, Jim Good was out on the field, and he was talking to the referee, and then moments later the ref got on the mic and said, correction, no timeout for Redlands.
Now then why announce it then? That's two my bads for this officiating crew, and that's too many. This officiating crew's got to get in the game as well. That's too many mistakes on their part.
First down and 10 for Redlands, 3:27 to go. Bulldogs have all three timeouts left as they go looking for a pass, and McKee unloads, complete, 30, 35, 40, and diving for a first down is Blankenship. So Scott Blankenship was in the right place and bailed McKee out, who was feeling the pressure that time.
One thing McKee is doing is he's not in the same spot when he throws the football. He's not a sitting target back in the pocket. They're moving him around quite a bit.
First down.
And that helps. That's a good read by you. Arambols looking for a block. Turns the corner and can't get it.
Now, and the way that Chapman has decided to play defense tonight, it's going to end up being on the shoulders of Jaden McKee because the Bulldogs have had no running game so far in the first half, and Chapman's basically loading up the line of scrimmage and daring the Bulldogs to throw the football.
Play lost 2 yards, 2nd and 12. McKee scrambling right again and unloads complete. Rambo's at the 50 and got out of bounds where? Let's see.
That's very close to the first down marker at the 46-yard line.
They're going to look across.
Flag down. I wonder if there's an illegal man downfield on the Bulldogs.
It's on the Redlands side of the field on the other side.
Side judge threw the flag. Ineligible player downfield. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. Replay the down.
Well, that takes away a big play.
The 2-minute timeout.
And this
clock operator, please put 2:00 on the clock.
This is the 2-minute timeout. And we'll come back right after this. Our Bulldog football brought to you by GTG Law, the law offices of Gav Gabriel. They give you aggressive protection of your rights, and if you need help in employment law, personal injury, business litigation, or more, contact GTG Law. Skilled representation. Call 562-758-8210, gtglaw.com.
Now that it's second and long, I would expect Chapman's defense to come after McKee again.
Now, Jim Good talking to the referee again about something here. And the referee looks like he's on his headset.
I don't blame Jim for being upset about this officiating crew. I think they've done a very poor job here in the first half.
And now the referee is going to go out. Are they going to go to the other side and talk to Chapman?
If I were Coach Owens at Chapman, I would want an explanation. Of course I would. Or Coach Owens is going to wear out the line judge over there on the far side.
Yeah, that might be what's happening there. So that was the 2-minute timeout. Not allowed to call it 2-minute warning. That's an NFL thing. And on second down, McKee scrambles left, picks up a block, throws on the run to Breen. And
if I were Chapman, I'd use a timeout right here.
Breen stayed in bounds at the 39-yard line, so the clock is running, 1:44 and counting.
I mean, the way that Redlands' offense is performing so far this year and in this game, if I were Chapman, I would have used a timeout there because you're still in third and long, and if I were Chapman, I'd go after the quarterback here. I'd be aggressive.
Clock is running. Redlands with all 3 timeouts left. It's down to 1:22.
And this is helping Redlands. It's taking more time off the clock for Chapman. Because here they come. They're going to blitz again.
McKee is taken down from behind at the 35.
Now Chapman will use a timeout, I would imagine. And they do with the clock stopped at 1:05 yet left. But not using a timeout after the second down play cost Chapman at least 40 seconds.
Alexander Terriquez gets credit for the sack. Again, Bulldog football brought to you by the Wolf Tax Service. Intelligent, persistent, and reliable. You'll get a complete tax package, personal or corporate taxes. You'll also get service throughout the year, not just in April, and personal attention from someone you can talk to year-round, not somebody who disappears after April 15th. We're talking about former Bulldog football player Dennis Casino, a professional with years of experience, familiar with your unique tax situation. Put the Wolf to work for you. 951-306-4686. The number to call, 951-306-4686. So 1:05 to go until halftime. Chapman with a 10-3 lead, and Redlands preparing to punt from the 20-yard line. Panthers with 2 men back. Pretty good kick. Fair catch called and made at the 17-yard line. Amir Adams got the hand up. So now Chapman will have a chance with 2 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, I wouldn't be running any of that Wildcat offense in the last minute of the first half if I were the Panthers. That's been very ineffective, and I think it gives the Redlands defense a bit of a break, and it pretty much lets you know that they're going to run the football. Chapman's been more potent on offense when Peterman's been in the game, both running and passing.
Well, he's in at quarterback now with Ursino alongside him. And Peterman goes to the sideline, incomplete. Off the hands of a Chapman receiver. There were two Redlands defenders there as well.
Yeah,
Cade Zimmerman.
Lawrence Williams really had excellent covers there. The wide receiver basically had to knock the ball away from Williams, or Williams would have picked it off.
Cade Zimmerman was the intended receiver.
By number 5, Lawrence Williams, incomplete.
So 2nd down and 10. Now Peterman gets everybody out of their stance. Moves the running back to the left. 7 on the play clock. And he's back to throw. Under coverage and incomplete. That was thrown behind Lagerman.
Yeah, inaccurate pass there by Peterman. I don't know if he got happy feet because the pass rush was coming at him, but that was a very poor throw.
That brings up a 3rd and 10 for the Panthers.
So 3rd and 10. Redlands making some changes on defense. Sami Abdul-Majid back in the game. Four wide receivers and Peterman looking to throw. Sideline catch made, out of bounds at the 30. That should be a first down.
Pass complete from number 10, Luke Peterman.
You're listening to KMET, Banning Redlands, San Bernardino, your ABC News affiliate and home for Bulldog football.
Clock stopped with 46 seconds to go in the first half.
Chapman is ready. Bulldogs will rush 4. And now, as I say that, Peterman steps out again. And audibilizes the play. Pressure. Rolls right and throws an incomplete pass.
Yeah, he just dirted that ball because Abdul-Majid was right in Peterman's face, and that was basically a throwaway by the quarterback.
Jax Lee comes back into the Redlands lineup. 42 seconds remaining. You are with us on Flow Sports tonight. We'll be back with you next Saturday. Bulldogs hosting Laverne. Peterman. That pass bounced, and was it caught? No, dropped out of bounds with 38 seconds left, intended for Andrew Latu.
You know, with Chapman getting the ball to start the second half, and you've had 2 bad passing plays in a row, I would not be surprised if this is a very conservative call by the Chapman offense. Unless someone's wide open down the field, I think they're going to be very conservative here.
Screen pass to the 30, 35, 40, first down, 45, up to the 46, and that was Latu making the catch.
That was a conservative call, but you had 2 missed tackles by the defense that gave Chapman the first down, and Chapman's going to use their second timeout.
So Chapman will talk it over. That was a big play. You go from punting to now having a first down at midfield.
And now, all of a sudden, now that it's first down again, Chapman on this next play, I think, can be a lot more aggressive and push the ball down the field.
Coming up at halftime, we'll get you up to date on the Claremont Cal Lutheran score. We'll also check college games today, preview NFL action tomorrow. As we told you, no matter how you're listening or watching tonight, glad you're with us, the home team controls the video. So if you're looking in from Orange County or you're a Chapman fan, you're listening to the Redlands broadcast tonight. And if you are listening on radio, KMET1490am.com, internet, or the KMET free iPhone and Android apps, you can hear every Bulldog game every week right here. All right, 1st and 10 following the timeout. Peterman being chased, and down he goes, wrapped up from behind. by Aaron Munoz.
Anthony Munoz.
And that, I think Chapman's going to say, okay, that's it.
And Redlands, I don't think, is going to stop it either.
Yeah, that's going to be the last play of the half.
So time will expire. Both teams will go to the locker room, and it's Chapman holding a 10-3 lead here at Ted Runner Stadium. Well, Bulldogs are in this game, and they got to be feeling pretty good about the fact that the defense is playing well and that the passing game seems to be responding. I think you hit on something very important, and if you're on radio, it's hard to see it. If you're watching, you'll see what Brett's talking about, but you hit on something big when you said they're moving him out to pass. He's not just staying in the pocket.
Yeah, and I don't blame the offensive unit for Redlands for trying to do that because Chapman has decided that they're going to load up the line of scrimmage. So they're basically blitzing on almost every down, whether it's a run blitz or a pass blitz. So they're trying to get McKee out of the pocket so that he can either make things go with his legs or pass the ball down the field with his arm.
All right, well, we'll come back to Ted Renner Stadium with halftime festivities. We invite you to stay with us. Chapman 10, Redlands 3. You're listening to University of Redlands football on KMET.
Hey kids. Hey kids, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for you to take the field. All kids ages 12 and under are invited down to the Bulldog Field to participate in fun Take a Kid to the Game activities. Kick a field goal, catch a pass, make the tackle. Have fun, kids. Come on out.
Well, it is halftime, and several hundred youngsters are having a great time down on the field here at Ted Runner Stadium. The tackling dummies are out, among other things, and the kids are going through the routine.
Yeah, it's take a kid to the game night.
They're kicking field goals. They are having a good time safely down there with adult supervision. And let's get you up to date on what else is happening. You want to start with the baseball pennant races first?
I'm going to start with the SCIAC scores
Okay.
first. There was a game earlier today, and Pomona-Pitzer held on, and they beat Laverne by the score of 27-20. A couple of stories there. First of all, both teams in the second half were playing with backup quarterbacks. Why? We don't know, but that was the case. And it is a fact that Laverne quarterbacks, whether it was the starting quarterback or the backup quarterback, combined for 5 interceptions, and that was the basic reason why Laverne lost that game.
So Pomona gets a SCIAC conference win to start conference play.
And about a minute to go in the first half up in Thousand Oaks, Claremont just scored a touchdown to make it 28-10 in favor of Claremont over Cal Lutheran.
So Claremont trying to keep it going. They were able to defeat George Fox last week. Now, we've got all the other college scores tonight. You want to do baseball first? You want to do the other college football today?
Well, we can tell you that locally, the Los Angeles Dodgers clinched home field for the National League playoffs as long as the Dodgers are alive. That's because the Phillies lost earlier today. Now, as far as what happened on the field, the Dodgers whacked the Rockies by the score of 13-2. So there's no question the Dodger offense is performing about as well right now as they have all season, but it's the age-old question, at least the last couple of years, are there going to be enough healthy pitchers for the Dodgers to throw out there once we get into the playoffs?
Well, and remember, they're going to have about a week layoff. They'll play that final regular season game in Colorado tomorrow, but they won't start the playoffs until next Saturday, so they'll have some time off.
The San Diego Padres came up with 5 runs in the 9th inning to beat Arizona by the score of 5-0. Also in the National League wildcard situation, the Mets lost and the Braves won. So now all of a sudden, the Mets a week ago were thinking, who are we going to play in the playoffs? To the Mets they may not make the playoffs at all.
Yeah, well, that doubleheader Monday is what it's probably going to come down to.
It could, although if the Braves win tomorrow and the Mets lose, it might not matter.
Yeah, so we will see. All right, there was college football today, and I think probably the easiest way to do this is to do it the way the day kind of unfolded, starting with the morning games first.
Well, first of all, USC had a big second half, and they beat Wisconsin 38-21.
Okay.
Miller Moss, I tell you, when I was watching the game, every time he went back to throw, it seemed like he was getting hit by somebody. But he had a huge day passing. And one thing that's happened with USC this year, and it's a great trend to have. They've been an outstanding second-half team. They outscored Wisconsin in the second half today, 28-0.
Yeah, that was, I was going to say, he had a good second half because the first half they went in trailing at the Coliseum. Michigan beat USC last week, and they were home to face Minnesota, and they had a big lead, but they had to hold on and get an onside kick with about a minute left to hang on and defeat Minnesota 27-24.
And it looked like the Golden Gophers had recovered an onside kick, but it was called back because of a penalty, which was a bad call.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it. It was a bad call, and Michigan held on, got a bit of a homer call, and won that game.
Couple games in the Big 12. BYU gets a victory on the road. Now, you remember they had that big win at home last Saturday. Well, they went to Baylor today and won 34-28. And then the top 20 showdown in Manhattan, Kansas. Boy, Kansas State put it to number 20 Oklahoma State, 42-20.
Yeah, big fourth quarter there for the Wildcats. And speaking of Wildcats, the Kentucky Wildcats pulled off the biggest upset of the day when they upset Ole Miss 20-17. The Rebels missed a field goal with less than a minute to go, and the Wildcats won in Oxford, Mississippi for the first time since the 70s.
That's a good win for them. Texas A&M with a victory at home over Arkansas 21-17 as we continue through the top 25. Now, this game was not in the top 25 but it got a lot of attention because UNLV's quarterback left this week due to the NIL thing. He wasn't getting paid, so he decided he wasn't going to play. So he left, and UNLV has a game with Fresno State today. They start a new quarterback, and they win big.
Yeah, 59 points. They didn't miss the quarterback.
No. Louisville and Notre Dame get together. Notre Dame at home with a 31-24 victory.
There were some special teams play by the Irish that really propelled them in that game.
Oklahoma held on for a win at Auburn 27-21.
You got some lean years coming up for the Auburn Tigers. They are down.
Number 1 Texas with an SEC win at home over Mississippi State 35-13. Iowa State defeating Houston. And Stanford and Clemson in an ACC game. Clemson no problem at home.
And Georgia and Alabama. Alabama was up 28-0 in the first half. Georgia just took the lead on them with 2.5 to go. 34-33 Georgia over Alabama. Has a Nick Saban team ever blown a 28-point lead? I don't think so.
Other ranked teams that won: Penn State defeated Illinois, Ohio State big over Michigan State, LSU big at home over South Alabama. And as you said, there's still some games going tonight. Boise State is at home in a game that's still in the first half. They lead Washington State. And Arizona up early on Utah.
And Oregon up on UCLA early at the Rose Bowl.
So you're up to date on college football. We'll take a break, come back and preview tomorrow's NFL action. It's halftime here at Ted Runner Stadium, and it's Chapman 10, Redlands 7. You're listening to Bulldog Football on KMET.
One minute, kids. 1 minute.
Halftime. Kids are having a great time down there as they continue their kicking and scoring and blocking down on the field. All right, the 6-minute version of the NFL picks for tomorrow. And starting with the early games, one you can hear on KMET, 9 o'clock pregame tomorrow, 10 o'clock kickoff. Rams are at the Chicago Bears. Bears are favored probably because they're home, Brett, and I like the Rams in this situation.
The Bears coaching staff let the team down and their fans down last week. They coached a horrible game last week against the Colts. I think they're going to bounce back. The Rams stole the game from the 49ers last week. I don't think they're going to be able to steal a game on the road this week. I'll take the Bears.
Cleveland is at the Raiders tomorrow in an afternoon game in Las Vegas, and I like the Raiders. I thought they played well last week, and they're home this week, so I'm going to take them for 2 in a row.
They stunk up the joint last week against Carolina. That usually means that an NFL team that does that, they bounce back the next week. I'll take the Raiders.
Pittsburgh at Indianapolis tomorrow morning. I like the Steelers on the road here.
Yeah, if Colt fans think Anthony Richardson is ready to play at a high level at quarterback, they didn't see the game last week. He was terrible. I love Justin Fields in this matchup. He's going to go off on the Colts. I'm going to take the Steelers.
Probably the best early game on the schedule. The Minnesota Vikings go to Lambeau to face the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, Jordan Love, I think, is going to start for the Green Bay Packers in that game. I think he's going to start, and I would take the Packers at home.
If he starts, I would take the Packers at home as well. Jacksonville is at Houston.
Bounce-back game for Houston. the Jaguars are a mess, so I'll take the Texans at home.
Exactly, because the Houston Jaguars, because the Texans are home, I'll go with them as well. Saints and the Falcons. This is an interesting matchup in Atlanta.
This is always a grudge match. It's one of the most underrated rivalries in the NFL. I don't like the way the Falcons are playing on offense, and I think the Saints will bounce back. So I'll take New Orleans on the road.
Yeah, and this is a history of teams. Home field doesn't always mean what you think it does in this matchup. I'm going to go with New Orleans for the victory as well. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles will be at the Tampa Bay Bucks tomorrow.
Tampa played a poor game last week. I think they'll bounce back, and this is a rematch of a playoff game last year, and I think it's going to be the same result as the playoff game. I'll take Tampa at home.
I'm going to go with the Eagles on the road here. Cincinnati is at Carolina.
Yeah, the Bengals eventually are going to snap out of this funk that they're in, and I don't think Andy Dalton's going to be able to repeat what he did last week. I'll take Cincinnati.
Yeah, you got to figure out that Cincinnati is going to put it together one week, and I think that'll be tomorrow. Denver is at the Jets in the Meadowlands. Jets are a big favorite in this one.
Yeah, I think it'll be a closer game than a lot of people think, but I think Bo Nix is going to be in for a rough day because it looks like the Jets' defense has figured some things out. So I'll take the Jets at home.
Close game. I think the Jets win as well. Other afternoon games, Washington at Arizona. I'll go with the Cardinals here, although I'll tell you, Jaden Daniels making a name for himself.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden Daniels played a great game on Monday night, no doubt about that. But again, Arizona at home, they stunk it up last week. I think they'll bounce back, and Kyler Murray will have a big day.
New England is at San Francisco. Love the 49ers here.
I don't love them in this situation because they have so many injuries, but New England can't score, so I'll take San Francisco.
I don't love them to cover. I love them to win tomorrow, by the way. Kansas City at the Chargers at SoFi tomorrow. And the Chargers are playing well. I don't think Aber's healthy yet. I got to take the Chiefs.
Yeah, what do the Chiefs do? They play close games, and they win them. That'll be the case tomorrow. It'll be a close game, and the Chiefs will find a way to win.
Buffalo looking good, but they go into Baltimore to face the Ravens tomorrow night.
I love the Bills. The Ravens didn't prove anything to me last week. They almost gave up another lead, and they might blow another big lead in this game. I'll take the Bills.
It's a short week. Buffalo won on Monday, but I'll take them as well. Speaking of Monday, there are two Monday night games. Tennessee at Miami. I'll go with the Dolphins.
You like Tyler Huntley at quarterback for Miami? Then again, you don't like Will Levis at quarterback for Tennessee. So Levis will throw the ball to the Dolphins. They'll score a touchdown, and that's how they'll win.
I like Miami. Miami at home in a low-scoring game, yeah? And the Seahawks at the Lions, and I'll go with Detroit.
This is going to be a high-scoring game. This will be very entertaining, but I'll take the Lions at home.
Those are the NFL picks, and they are for entertainment purposes only. And when we come back, we'll get you set for the start of the second half. Chapman leading Redlands 10-3 here at 10 Runner Stadium on KMET. All right, we are back, and we take a look at some of the stats from the first half. First downs 12-6 in favor of Chapman. Rushing yards, Redlands had 21, Chapman had 89. Passing yards, 74 for Redlands, 75 for Chapman. And turnovers, Redlands had 1, Chapman had none. And time of possession, 12-20 for Redlands, 17-40 for Chapman.
Bulldogs only 2 out of 6 on third down. Jaden McKee's been sacked 3 times. There's just no balance in this offense for the Bulldogs. They're struggling again to rush the football. And eventually, if the Bulldogs are going to snap out of this offensive malaise that they've been in, they have got to be able to run the football to take the pressure off the quarterback.
We talked to Jim Good on the pregame show on radio, and you might have heard what he said. You asked him what the keys to tonight's game would be, and he said, we have to protect our quarterback, we have to establish the run, and we have to limit their big plays.
I would say 1 out of 3 on that one, and I think the Bulldogs have done a pretty good job in limiting Chapman offensively. There have been very few big plays down the field for the Panthers so far in the first half. They've had to travel slowly, and Redlands has kept most everything in front of them. But offensively, it just hasn't been there so far.
Well, and again, you go back to the lack of a running game and the problems with the offensive line. And I'll say it again, I like what they've done as far as moving the quarterback out of the pocket. That's been the key to getting some yards on offense through the air tonight. So Redlands will kick off to begin the second half. Chapman will be going towards the scoreboard end of Ted Runner Stadium.
Number 11, John Loggeman.
John Loggeman is back deep for Chapman. And this one's going to go into the end zone, and they're going to bring it out to the 10. And a nice job of coverage by the Redlands special teams to stop it inside the 10-yard line.
And Tyler Pacheco should know better than that. He caught the ball in the end zone. There was no blocking ahead of him. He should have taken a knee, and he would have saved himself a big hit and would have helped Chapman gain about 15 more yards of field position. Bad decision by Pacheco.
So Chapman with a 10-3 lead. As the third quarter begins, Peterman has gone most of the way at quarterback. We say most of the way because Pacheco has been back there at times as a Wildcat quarterback. And now a fumble, and it's picked up on first down, and a screen pass to Loggeman. And that quarterback back there now is Joey Yellen, number 16. I believe that's the first time we've seen him all year at Chapman. He was not in the stats. We haven't seen Nathaniel Espinoza, who was listed as the backup.
Pass complete from number 16, Joey Yellen, to number 11, John.
So interesting. And
Yeah.
Yellen stays in there.
That's very curious because we didn't see Peterman get injured at the end of the first half.
Latu in at running back now. And Yellen throws under coverage, and it's caught again across the 20, the 25. And out of bounds goes Quentin Biebel. So Chapman gets a first down there.
Pass complete from Joey
And
Yellen to number 3,
Joey Yellen stays in the game.
Beeble.
Yeah, he had not attempted a pass so far this year until now in the second half.
Yellen from the pistol throws short again. Catch across the 30 up to the 34 for Cade Zimmerman. And all these are 5-yard outs
Cade Zimmerman.
with 2 or 3 yards after the pass. But if that works, there's no reason to get away from it.
And remember, now you got a backup quarterback in there and somebody who wasn't even listed on the 2 deep. So he's going to be very limited on what kind of plays that he can run.
Well, the good thing if you're Chapman, these plays are working and they're high percentage. If you can get 8 or 9 yards on these, you don't have to do much else.
Yeah, or you can hand the ball off to your running back.
Zimmerman in motion. Yellen fakes the handoff to Orsino. And that one is caught out of bounds at the 40 over on the far side. Yellen's pass complete to Zimmerman. And again, that's enough for a first down. Redlands had some years where this was a big part of their offense. Just a little 5 yards out. The theory being we can throw it faster than you can run.
Yeah, the short passing game served as the running game.
At their 41-yard line.
Yellen goes deep here, and it's out of bounds. That was no way that ball was catchable at the 40.
And I'll be curious to see how much we see of the Wildcat offense here in the second half. It was extremely ineffective.
But it's also curious why we haven't seen Espinoza yet. I mean, Espinoza was a big part of their offense in past seasons. He's a fifth-year quarterback.
Well, here comes Pacheco back in the game as the Wildcat quarterback, so that automatically tells the Redlands defense this is a run. You don't have to defend the pass.
No, they're stacking the box for one. And Pacheco is hit and dropped at the 43. Maybe a 1 yard gain.
It's extremely predictable. And the Redlands defense has stopped it cold so far in this ball game. You're just basically wasting it down by doing that. You're doing the offense a disservice.
Third down and 8. Yellen's throw across the middle, caught, but he's thrown back, and that's going to be short of the first down.
The bobble by the receiver, Lageman, cost him the first down. He had to catch the ball twice, and it gave the defender an extra second to hit him 2 yards short of the first down.
So it'll bring up 4th and 2, and Chapman will put Carson Nichols and the punt team out there.
Number 37, Carson Nichols, punting for the Panthers.
10-3 ball game. Chapman leading Redlands.
Number 3, Evan Agnew.
And this kick is away. Agwan comes up, takes it. Fair catch at the 22-yard line. Bulldogs with the ball, down by 7 on KMET.
The punt, it'll be first down for the Bulldogs. Ball at the 22-yard line. Ball carried by number 4, Kalel Lucia Rambolis. He was brought down by number 33 for the Panthers, Harrison Donato. 1 yard gain on the play, 2nd and 9.
Bulldogs with the ball, or Rambols getting a yard on first down. 2nd and 9 from the 23-yard line. And a pass across the middle, incomplete, intended for Agwan. McKee's pass incomplete, now 3rd and 9.
Well, and on the first down play, Chapman lined up in a 7-man defensive line, and Redlands just ran right into it and gained nothing. That forces 2nd and long, it's 3rd and long, and that's not a good formula for a team that's been struggling on offense. Here comes another 5-man defensive front for Chapman. Now they creep up a 6th guy.
Pass to the sideline, intercepted at the 25-yard line, and a flag thrown after the play. That was a long throw to the wide side of the field, and Chapman read it all the way.
And the penalty is face mask on the Redlands wide receiver making the tackle. That's the second interception thrown by McKee here tonight. So when it's all said and done, Chapman should have the ball on the 12.5-yard line, 1st and 10.
If you're wondering what the difference is, both these teams have made a field goal. The difference really was the half a distance to the goal as they mark this off. The difference, the touchdown that Chapman got, was the interception. They took that interception and marched downfield and scored their only touchdown off it. And now they're going to get the ball inside the 10-yard line. No, scratch that. 12.5-yard line.
Actually, Julian Walker was the intended receiver. That was a good penalty, because if he doesn't grab the face mask and tackle the defensive back that made it the interception, it would have been a Chapman touchdown.
Yeah, we had a great view of that one, and that ball was in the air forever.
Here comes the Wildcat quarterback again, Pacheco. You know he's going to run it.
And he goes to the wide side of the field and is upended as he gets to the 10.
I just wonder, is Chapman doing this to put it on tape for other teams to look at? Because it's not working.
Maybe, but I think there's an issue because we haven't seen Espinoza.
No, we haven't seen Peterman in the second half either. But Chapman can't operate an offense like this for the rest of the season. That's not going to be good enough to beat teams like Claremont in their division.
Well, this was a team that was averaging 486 yards of offense.
And it was mainly Peterman throwing the football.
Yeah. Motion on the right. Pacheco keeps it. No hole. Tries to cut it back. And his offensive line moves him down to the 5.
Well, first of all, Pacheco is one of your best wide receivers. If he's playing Wildcat quarterback and running the ball like this for the rest of the season, he's not going to last the whole season.
Hunter on the stop for Redlands. That's going to be 3rd and 2. Again, motion to the right. And again, Pacheco trying the left side. And let's see about the spot.
I think he's got the first down.
Linesman comes in at the 3.
Well, if he's short, he's short by less than a yard. Well, he didn't make it.
So it'll be 4th down and 1.
And you notice also in this Wildcat offense, all the runs are going to Chapman's left.
Yes.
You know that the Bulldog defense, they know that. And we know that Pacheco's no threat to throw the football.
Full house backfield. Pacheco following his blockers up the middle. And did he get in? Yes, touchdown. So Pacheco brings it in, and it's 16-3.
Yeah, so that's at least 13 points off of Redlands turnovers that Chapman has been able to put on the board. Extra point coming up.
On for the point after attempt number 46, Jax Hudson.
Hudson for the PAT. Good to make it 17-3 Chapman. And the Bulldogs' search for any kind of offense continues. 7:48 to go, 3rd quarter, and Redlands will have the ball when we come back.
The University of Redlands would like to thank all of this season's sponsors for their valuable support of Bulldog Athletics. They include PFM, SMN, Lee and Associates, Golden Coil Constructors, Morrissey Architecture and Planning, SEI, KAR Construction, and Brian R. Bloom Architects. Please show your thanks by utilizing these fine businesses. Kicking off for the Panthers, number 46, Jack Hudson.
Bulldogs take the opening kickoff at the 13-yard line. Arambos to the 20, 25, 30, 35, and dives up near the 40. It's a short kick. Kalel was able to settle under it and then had some momentum.
Out of bounds by number 6, Colin Keith.
So if you're just joining us, Chapman took a 7-0 lead off a Redlands interception. They got the interception and were able to put it into the end zone for the touchdown. Redlands got a field goal. It was 7-3 at halftime. Chapman kicked the field goal. And then Redlands' second interception set Chapman up for their second touchdown. This pass is almost intercepted. At the 30, the Chapman defender backpedaling.
Yeah, the wide receiver and the quarterback were not on the same page on that one.
Well, and again, that's something Jim talked about with us this week, was receivers running different routes than where the quarterback is throwing it. 2nd and 10. Cheney, right side. New running back out across the 50 to the 47. That's Alvarez.
Isaiah Alvarado, the sophomore from Coachella, with a nice run there.
You just get the feeling they're searching for anybody that wants to step up at running back. Arambos has been able to do what they're asking him, but you can't run him 30 times a game. And outside 40, 35, and that's going to be a first down.
That's
for
Alvarado again.
Alvarado. Isaiah Alvarado from Coachella.
He went to La Quinta High School out there in the low desert area.
He's a sophomore, and he'll stay in the game.
Yeah, considering the fact that the Bulldogs haven't scored a touchdown in the first 10 quarters of the season, anybody that can make a play out there, yeah, you're going to keep him out there.
Alvarado on the right side this time. McKee stops, throws, deep downfield, incomplete. Had two defenders there. Agwan was the intended receiver.
I like the fact, though, they took a shot deep.
Yeah.
For number 3, Evan Agwan. And pass from McKee was incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Second down and 10 for Redlands. Three wide receivers, a tight end. That's Cheney in motion. And Alvarado again on the right side is to the 30.
You're in 4-down territory right now.
I would think so.
You're down 14 points. Field goal doesn't do you any good.
Under 6 minutes to go, third quarter.
It's been a quick-moving game.
Made by number 13.
And you don't know how many times you're going to get down here again.
Third down and 7. McKee, screen pass.
Nothing.
Incomplete. Believe that was intended for Alvarado.
And offense is going to stay on the field, so Jim Good has made the decision. They're definitely going to go for it.
Well, nothing to lose here at the 31-yard line. The clock is running, by the way, and it should.
Unless you turn the ball over and you give Chapman great field position. And here comes the field goal unit onto the field. This will be a 48-yard attempt. It's a curious call to me. Unless they're forcing Chapman to use a timeout. And Redlands got a guy late on the field, and the Bulldogs had to burn a timeout.
Redlands, their first charge timeout of the half.
So timeout Redlands with 4:45 to go. And we'll take a timeout and come back. That'll be 4th down.
Here comes the offense back on the field.
That was an interesting decision. It looked like they were going to go, and then the field goal unit came out, and then they called a timeout, and now the offense is back. Fourth and 7. And down goes the quarterback, McKee. And Redlands turns it over on downs. 4:40 to go.
Well, it has to be discouraging for Bulldog fans is that right now the Bulldog offense doesn't have they don't have a way to beat the blitz. I'm saying this as a Chicago Bears fan because the Bears are having problems beating the blitz themselves because of bad offensive line play.
Well, and we've seen some bad offensive line play. And if you have someone that's on the offensive line and you're not happy to hear me say that, it gives me no joy to say it, but the truth hurts. Yes, it's getting better, but it's not getting better fast enough. And it's not just them. It's a combination of things. New quarterback. We talked about the injuries on the offensive line.
Well, and what teams are going to do on defense, Laverne next week, Pomona Pitzer coming up, Kalu coming up, Claremont coming up, they're going to blitz Redlands until Redlands proves they can do it.
Oh, yeah, because Redlands is one-dimensional right now. If you can't run the ball, everybody's going to play you to pass. Screen pass caught at the 40 and up to the 38.
Well, that was a big hit there by Elijah Valles.
And Latu pops right back up.
That linesman reached into his pocket for the flag. He didn't throw it, but that was a big hit. And the linesman, I think, was thinking about throwing a flag on the Bulldogs, but he didn't. And the backup quarterback, Joey Yellen, is still in the ball game for Claremont. So we don't know it for certain, but there might be something wrong with Luke Peterman.
Well, he might be well enough to play, but, I mean, you're ahead, so why would you risk it? A timeout on the field taken by Chapman. We're going to take one as well. Chapman with a comfortable 17-3 lead, and we'll come back after this. Screen pass, and the Bulldog defense with a big play to break it up.
That's Valles again.
Valles came over, and yep, he'll get credit for it to bring up 4th down for Chapman. And at this point, if you're Chapman, you're just saying, don't turn the ball over and let's use the clock.
Well, and don't have your special teams do something crazy. The Bulldogs might have to go after this punt.
High snap. It is away. Agwan. And down he goes at the 15-yard line.
And let's hope that Agwan can get up, and he's not getting up.
Official timeout, and they're signaling for the trainer to come out. And Agwan is down back at the 14-yard line. Bulldog football brought to you by GTG Law, the law offices of Gav Gabriel. GTG Law will give you aggressive protection of your rights. Legal services for clients across California. If you need help in employment law, personal injury, business litigation, contact GTG Law today. Skilled representation, gtglaw.com, 562-758-8210. Yeah, Evan backpedaled.
And he got twisted around.
Yeah, with 2 different tacklers, unfortunately.
Yeah, Evan's career here at Redlands, he's had some fantastic moments, but he has battled through a lot of injuries.
Everybody on the Chapman side down on one knee. And Agwan is up. That's the good news. And he may take him to the locker room. Let's see.
He's got a white towel over his left shoulder. And Evans, he's walking towards the field house directly. Now he's walking back towards the bench area.
So 1st and 10 for Redlands. McKee in the pistol. Pass caught. And it's out to the 25-yard line. That looks like Knight.
And Chapman blitzed. There was a free man coming right at McKee. McKee, that was a chuck and duck type of throw because McKee got walloped on the play, but Knight made a nice catch over the middle.
So that is enough for the 1st down for Redlands. Motion. And they go on the ground back to the line of scrimmage. That's Alvarado.
And Evan Agwan just got into a cart, and he is being carted back to the field house.
Back on that play was made by number 90, Dominic Sellen. No gain on the play. It's 2nd and 10.
Three wide receivers. Cheney right side. And McKee out of the pocket. Steps up. Being chased. Falls ahead and gets a couple.
Now there, Chapman lined up 5 guys on the defensive line, but only 4 of them rushed. That's a different look that Chapman gave Redlands' offensive line on that play.
So 3rd down and 9 for Redlands.
I would imagine another 5-man or 6-man blitz coming up here for Chapman's defense.
You would think. Knight, Breen, Northcutt, the wide receivers for the Bulldogs.
A couple of guys on Chapman creeping up towards the offensive line.
McKee. Throwing on the run. Incomplete. A diving attempt. But unable to bring it in was Northcroft.
And again, McKee was running for his life back there. That was actually a pretty good throw. He was rolling to his left, had to throw across his body to the right. Almost got the completion, but off the receiver's hand. 4th down, and you got a punt.
Minute 15 to go, third quarter.
And again, the Bulldogs special teams running guys in and out of the formation and off the field and on the field.
Valles comes on. Petruska's punt. Taken at the 40. And up to the 45, 50, 45, up to the 41. Nice return that time by Legaman. Valles on the stop with a minute 4 to go. Bulldog football brought to you by the Wolf Tax Service. Intelligent, persistent, reliable. Dennis Casino will do your personal or corporate taxes. Give you service throughout the year. His complete tax package with personal attention. So put the Wolf to work for you. Call 951-306-4686. Who is at quarterback?
Yellen is still in there.
Okay. I don't think we're going to see Peterman again tonight.
That's the feeling I get, too.
Latu down to the 35 on the left side. Again, from a Chapman's perspective, you're ahead by 2 touchdowns. And if there's an injury or if something's not 100%, because we don't know, but we didn't see their number 2 quarterback at all tonight. We haven't seen their starting quarterback in the second half. So you have to assume something's going on. But if you've got the lead and the clock in your favor, you want to do exactly what you're doing now. Just run the ball and keep the clock running. Redlands stops this for no gain.
Here's another thing. We have not seen a lot of Gio Orsino in the second half either.
He was tackled by number 95.
Yeah, you're right.
It's been mainly the running back Jake Foy who's been in there, number 21.
Now, Chapman's upcoming opponents will have some things to think about. And they'll certainly have what they saw on tape here tonight. That's the end of the third quarter, with Chapman holding a 17-3 lead. And you're listening to Bulldog Football on KMET.
We are proud to announce KWB Wealth as a major sponsor of Bulldog Athletics. Why KWB Wealth? They've served individuals, families, and business owners since 1996 with the sole purpose of helping people build and live a brighter financial future and providing financial advice. Recognized in national financial publications for their excellence, they don't just manage your money, they help you create a vision for your life, your retirement, and your legacy. Imagine a future where every decision is supported by professional guidance, where your goals are within reach, and on your way to achieving your vision of financial success.
Now, those of you on radio and the internet and the apps just heard the commercial for Savarino's Italian Deli, which is everything we said it was and then some, but unfortunately they're already closed tonight. So next Saturday, if you're coming, get to town early and get there before they close, and you can enjoy everything we talked about.
Or make your plan during the week to go there for lunch.
Yeah.
And let them know over there that you heard it on Bulldog Radio.
You might run into Bretterai there. You never know. 3rd and 5. Passing situation. And they will go deep downfield, and it is caught. Inside the 5-yard line. Had to wait for the official to make the reception or the signal. Zimmerman got the feet in bounds, and Yellen put it right there. Well, again, if you're trying to think along with Chapman, you know, maybe you're going to need Yellen down the line. I mean, we don't know about the other two. This is a guy that's been in the program for a while, so, you know, he's proving he can score, get you some points. That pass incomplete.
That was supposed to be a running play, and I'm surprised there's not a flag for lineman downfield.
14-12 to go.
I mean, smart play by Yellen.
Yeah.
I mean, the running back went the wrong way, and Yellen's holding the ball off for the running back, and there's no running back, and you're thinking, uh-oh, I better get rid of this ball.
So if Yellen is going to be your guy, he's getting a chance to work on some things here in the second half.
Okay, here comes Tyler Pacheco back in the game as the Wildcat quarterback, so you know it's a run.
And he is hit in the backfield behind the 5.
Yeah, this kind of offense can work at the high school level.
Yeah.
In major college football, when you have a quarterback back there that can't throw the ball, that's not going to work at this level. It's just not.
When you are lost on the play, it's 3rd and goal.
And now Yellen will come back in. Yellen rolling right, throwing end zone, incomplete.
Good coverage there by the defense. I think the intended receiver was running the out, then that was Lageman. He was covered, and then Yellen thought that he could throw the ball across the middle. There was nobody there, so good defense there by Redlands.
So the field goal unit comes in.
That would make it a 3-score game if Chapman can convert. They made a 26-yard field goal earlier in the game. This will be a 22-yard attempt.
Field goal attempt number 46, Jax Hudson.
Hudson's kick is no good. Wide left. So it remains 17-3. Redlands gets the ball back, and we'll return after this.
Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Bulldog Athletics would like to give a big shout out to women's soccer, who won 2-0 over Occidental today. Also, women's volleyball 3-0 over Caltech with a 5-game streak. Let's hear it for women's soccer and volleyball.
Bulldogs get the ball back, and on 1st down, an interception on a long pass downfield that was picked off by Calvin Padrid.
I thought McKee thought he had a free play.
Well, it looked like a Chapman defender jumped off sides, but there was no flag.
It looked pretty obvious to you and I.
So that's why McKee took the shot.
Yeah, I don't blame McKee on that one. He saw it right in front of him. I mean, he had a defensive player in the neutral zone when the ball was snapped. Of course you'd take a shot deep down the field.
But they didn't throw the penalty flag for anybody being offsides.
How you can miss that, I have absolutely no idea. Well, but the officiating crew had a rough first half, and they didn't do themselves any favors on that one.
So that's the 3rd interception of the night. Jim Good still talking it over, and now a delay of game penalty. Off tackle left and a dive to the 30.
Ball carried by number 20.
And that'll get the clock down under the 13-minute mark.
When you are gain on the play, it's 2nd and 14 for the Panthers at the Bulldog 30-yard line.
Yellen knocked down, incomplete. So third down coming up.
Nice play there by Cole Smith. He knocked that ball down right at the line of scrimmage. I think they were trying to hit Zimmerman out here on the near side.
Now Orsino comes in. So 3rd and 14. Yellen across the middle, tried to wedge it in there. They're going to give him the catch at the 10.
Yeah, that was a nice throw there by Yellen.
And Bebo made the catch.
That's probably the best throw by any of the Chapman quarterbacks here tonight.
So 1st and goal.
A lot of hands on hips on the Redlands defense. They were out there a long time in the first half, and things haven't changed much in the second half.
Orsino bounces outside, turns the corner.
Hey, he lost the ball.
The ball came out. That's
if that ball bounced.
Is that a touchback?
If the ball bounced into the end zone and out of the end zone, it would be a touchback. But where the officials are marking it on the far side, it might have went out of bounds at the 1 yard line.
Bulldog coaches next to us in the booth next door think it's a touchback.
On the field is a fumble forward, out of bounds at the 1 yard line. Ball being returned to the 2 yard line. First down. Correction.
Second down.
So they're going to put the ball at the 2 yard line.
Yeah, come on, officials, get the downs right while you're at it. Now, I wonder if here comes the Wildcat offense back in there. I wouldn't do that, and Chapman doesn't. And that's the right thing to do. They're going out of the pistol.
Yellen is ready. Yellen gives it off to about the 1 yard line.
Foy got the carry, and he got stood up at about the half yard line.
Under 11 minutes to go. Chapman with a 17-3 lead.
Now I wonder if we're going to see the Wildcat quarterback Pacheco come back in there. I think so.
Bring up a 3rd and goal from the 1 yard line.
Well, let's see if Redlands puts 9 guys on the line of scrimmage. Got one receiver out wide left and one wide right. Put all 9 guys up the line of scrimmage because you know it's coming.
Pacheco right side. In for the touchdown.
Ball carried by number 6, Tyler Pacheco. Touchdown Panthers.
Chapman has 3 touchdowns. They're all off of Redlands turnovers.
Yep. That's the one thing Redlands really hadn't been doing, was turning the ball over a lot until tonight. Now they actually have their punter on to attempt the extra point kick here, Carson Nichols. And that kick is no good. So it remains 23-3. Chapman.
Somehow I don't think the Panthers are going to be too thrilled about this result either, even though they're going to win the game.
Take a look at the schedule. Chapman's got Cal Lutheran. They're home against Cal Lutheran next Saturday. And then they go to Claremont. That'll be interesting to see who plays for them next week.
Yeah, this has been, I think at best, a ragged performance by Chapman, even though they're going to win the game. they got a lot of unsettled things, I think.
Well, but, it's hard to say what they're dealing with because we don't know. If did Peterman get hurt? Is he okay? Are they just resting him? What's the deal with the backup quarterback? You mentioned.
Well, what's the deal with their kickers?
Yeah.
Both kickers have missed short kicks, and that's something you might need in a close game later on down the line.
Kickoff. Breen from the end zone. 10, 15, 20.
Run into his own guy.
25. And up right about the 25-yard line as they unpile. We'll be back at it next Saturday night. Redlands will have Laverne here at Ted Runner Stadium. Bulldogs have scored 6 points this season.
And
if that doesn't sound positive to you, it's not.
Well, this doesn't sound positive. If you go back to last season, including tonight, the Bulldogs in the last 4 games and 3 quarters they have scored a combined 19 points.
Alvarado, 35, 40, 45, 50, 40, and out of bounds. One of the rare bright spots on offense tonight. Maybe they found a running back to go with Arambles. Isaiah Alvarado all the way down to the 41-yard line, and now Redlands is going to go hurry up. Alvarado again, and a penalty flag down as he was tackled.
All right, let's see if this is a face mask.
Yeah, it's either holding or a face mask. We'll see.
Yeah, I think this is on Chapman.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 60. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic. First down.
So it is face mask.
Yeah, and if you're thinking, oh, Redlands is just doing this just so they can put more points on the board, a field goal, wrong. They need to score a touchdown. They haven't scored one this year, and they haven't scored a touchdown going back to last year in their last 15 quarters.
This is David Myers, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. First carry of the game for David Myers, and he's in from 20 yards out. There's your touchdown. Maybe the Bulldogs found some running backs.
University of Redlands Bulldogs.
And it's 23-9. I mean, this is the Chapman starting defense that's out there.
They didn't play like it on that possession. I mean, there was nobody on the right side of their defensive alignment there. It's like everyone was lined up to the far side, and for David Myers, that was an easy stroll in the park for a touchdown.
Extra point kick is up and good to make it 23-10. Chapman with 9:27 to go. Well, do you onside kick here?
Yes, absolutely you do.
Well, the good news is Alvarado had some yards in the second half, and we just saw what Myers did there. We didn't see either one of those two guys do that in the first 2 games of the year. To be honest, neither one of those guys got too many opportunities in the first 2 games of the year. But as we said, the search for a running back has been a real thing, and maybe, let's hope that we've seen some glimmers here tonight. If you can run the ball, it makes everything easier.
That's at any level of football. Chapman does not have their hands team on the field. They're not suspecting that Redlands is going to kick an onside kick.
We got 9:27 to go, and you're down by 13. And they're not kicking an onside kick. They're going deep, taken at the 3. Returned up to the 20, 30, 35, and up to the 36. Well, that was a little surprising.
Yeah, I thought they would do something different on that.
But Chapman hasn't exactly set the world on fire in the second half with the offense either. So,
but I thought maybe they would try a pooch kick or maybe a squib kick of some kind, a line drive kick, something unconventional there.
Well, now you need to see if a defense can get a 3 and out.
I think they need to force a turnover.
That too. That would be better.
Yeah, this defense, I think they've played pretty well tonight. But this is the time of the game where they need to cause a turnover. They got some momentum now on their side.
On the ground, Foy gets up to the 37.
Tackle for the Bulldogs by number 3,
Susi gets a stop for Redlands.
Now remember, the Bulldogs had to burn a timeout earlier in the half because they were unsure of whether or not to go for it or try to kick a field goal. So they only have 2 timeouts left.
Motion on the right. And again,
carried by number 21,
Foy out to the 42-yard line.
Now, if Chapman follows the script that they've had so far in this game, they'll bring Pacheco in there as the Wildcat quarterback on this play.
Well, let's see. Yellen is still out there now. It's 3rd and 2. So Yellen's going to stay out there and go to work in the shotgun. And he gives it off, nothing doing. Foy hit at the line of scrimmage, spun off, and went down. So it looks like Redlands does get the 3 and out.
Now, with Agwan injured, we're going to have a different punt returner back for the Bulldogs. And it's going to be Joseph Rosales, number 6, waiting back near his 10-yard line.
7.5 minutes to go. 23-10, Chapman. Nichols is back at the 25-yard line awaiting the snap. High snap. Kick away.
It's short.
Rosales is going to let it roll. And picks it up. And then is hit at the 19-yard line. We'll take a quick break and come back right after this.
That is down at the 20-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
A fumbled snap. Chapman thought they got it. And Redlands will keep it. Bobbled snap, so that play will lose 3 yards. 1st and 13. McKee back in the pistol. Hands to Myers. And Myers is stopped in the backfield. Myers is from San Jacinto High School.
The first down play is a killer.
Yeah. And now it's 3rd and 15.
That's just something you just can't have that. A botched snap. You're in 2nd and long, and the Bulldogs have they haven't done very well on 2nd and 3rd and long the whole game.
There's the throw intended for Breen, who made the catch at the 25-yard line and is up to the 27. Now it looks like it's going to be 4th and 3.
I think you got to go for it.
I would agree. They haven't spotted it yet. The spot's not going to be great.
Well, the line to make is the 30-yard line, so they need at least 4 yards.
All right, let's call it 4th and 4. McKee now changing the play. 5:36 to go. Clock is running.
Well, you know Chapman's going to blitz, so you're going to get some one-on-one coverage on the outside.
McKee being chased. Back foot, throws incomplete.
And there was nobody open, and there was nothing McKee could do there.
Nope.
McKee's pass is incomplete.
That's when you've got a veteran wide receiver and they see you're in trouble, they'll break off a pattern and come back.
And Chapman jumped the out route here on the near side. So McKee did the wise thing, not trying to throw the football there.
5:17 to go. And Yellen is the quarterback for Chapman. 23-10 they lead. As on the right side, Loggeman gets it and carries down to the 23.
Now if you're the Bulldogs, you got to start thinking about maybe having to use some timeouts on defense. You're down 2 scores. You're less than 5 minutes to go in the game. Chapman probably doesn't trust their kicking game right now. So you try to save as much time on the clock as possible because Chapman's probably going to run the ball here. And Chapman's going to bleed as much time off the play clock as they can.
Yellen's pass is complete. 15 down inside the 10 goes Loggeman.
Yeah, I think that was a run-pass option.
Yeah.
Tackle on that play for the Bulldogs made by number 13, Matt Lissing.
Again, Chapman in no hurry here with the clock running.
First and goal for the Panthers at the 10-yard
It goes under 4 minutes.
carried by number 28.
And again, up the middle. This time, Latu gets the carry. 3.5 minutes to go, so Chapman is going to get a SCIAC win here. Second and goal. 2 running backs. And not much on the right side for Latu. It's going to bring up 3rd down. Bulldogs still with 2 timeouts left. They haven't taken one yet. Play clock still at 20.
It's 3rd and goal from the 10-yard line.
Yellen gives it off. Bulldog defense is there. And they stop it at the 5. 2:17 left. And I believe we've got a timeout.
Timeout, Redlands.
So Redlands takes one there.
You wonder if the only reason why Chapman ran the ball to their left is to center the ball for their kicker.
Probably, but we'll see. Field goal attempt coming up, we think.
and meet with their student athletes outside the venue.
They missed a short field goal attempt in the second half. They missed an extra point in the second half as Chapman.
Well, Redlands will face Laverne next week. Leopards fell to Pomona 27-20 today. We talked about the turnovers in that game.
Yeah, Laverne quarterbacks combined for 5 interceptions.
That'll be next Saturday night here at Ted Runner Stadium.
And Chapman's going to go for it on 4th down.
So 4th and goal from the 9. Yellen throws end zone, tipped and incomplete. Good coverage by the Bulldogs secondary over there on the right. Cole Smith was over there along with Lawrence Williams.
Possession will go to the Bulldogs on down.
Why wouldn't you kick a field goal there?
1st and 10 Redlands
Unless you were working on something.
at the 9-yard line.
Or you're working on plays for people, and maybe we'll look at the box score next week and find out Yellen started for them. Who knows? Two minutes and 13 seconds to go here. Alvarado at running back.
This is the second time that we've had to delay a game off of a change of possession.
Chapman with a defensive substitution.
Let's go, coach!
So now Redlands will start at the 4. Markosian in motion. And McKee buried in the end zone for the safety. And hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, they ran a stunt on the left side, and the guy looping to the inside had a free shot at the quarterback, and he took it and scored 2 points.
McKee tackled in the end
So
zone
a
by
safety
number
for
15.
Chapman. That makes it 25-10.
Mason Kubicek for a 2-point safety.
So unless something incredibly strange happens in the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds, Chapman is going to win here at Redlands for the first time in 10 years.
And the Bulldogs will start 0-3.
I would imagine this is going to be an onside kick, and this time Chapman has their hands team on the field, including their quarterback.
Okay. Pacheco.
No, I mean Joey Yellen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And the Bulldogs kick deep. There's nobody back. And
They should let it roll out of bounds.
picked up at the 10. And returned to the 20. Up to the 24-yard line.
Kick returned by number 8.
So 2:03 to go.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the 23-yard line.
Note to our studio producer, Jesse, let's combine the end of the games if we can. particularly since we don't have a couple of those elements in the last break. So we'll combine both of the end of games breaks at the end of the game before we come back for the post game. Chapman trying to put the finishing touches on this one. Foy on the right side for a couple positive yards.
Rushed by number 21, Jake Foy.
And a timeout with 1:57 left.
That's the 2-minute timeout.
Hey fans, be sure to join us next week here at Ted Renner Stadium, Saturday.
So the Bulldogs will talk it over. Well,
Let's
let's hope Evan Egwan is okay. He, like we said, he left and went to the field house, and that's all we know.
KMET 1490 AM radio covering Bulldog football this season, both at home and on the road. Please follow Bulldog Athletics on social
Well, I guess the
media
good news is the Bulldogs finally scored a touchdown.
That's
There is that.
.com.
But they still only have 10 points. I mean, last year, the Bulldogs had 4 games in which they scored 10 or fewer points, and unless they get a touchdown here in the last minute, 57, there'll be 3 games this year where they've scored 10 or fewer points. And it's got to be frustrating if you're a defensive player or a defensive coach. I think again, I know that Joey Mariani, the defensive coordinator, is going to come in here and he's going to talk about the mistakes the defense has made in this game. But with that being said, when you don't have a lot of point support, it almost forces the defense to play a perfect game, which you know isn't possible. Chapman had one of their offensive linemen get shaken up, and he's limping off the field.
Number 57, that is Colin Brophy. So Yellen and the Panther offense back out there. Foy to the 27-yard line.
Ball carried by number 28, Andrew Latu.
Or Latu, actually, I'm sorry, Latu
Tackled by number
on the
91
carry.
for the Bulldogs.
I think Redlands has used their last timeout. The referee can announce that any time now. You know, he's walking over to Bob Owens. Not sure why. Come on, White Hat. Announce that Redlands used their last timeout, please.
With 1:51 to go.
We also ask that all fans exit through the main entrance of the stadium and meet up with their student athletes outside.
I guess it isn't worth his time to announce that Redlands called their last time.
Well, they take it off the scoreboard, so there are none left up there. All right, Chapman will go back up there now.
Yeah, an 8-man front here by Redlands. They're expecting the run again.
Latu takes it with a penalty flag down. And now they throw one on the Redlands sideline, too.
Well, either Redlands was lined up offside or we have an illegal formation. And the ref decides not to turn his mic on. Brilliant.
It's against Chapman.
Yeah, they didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage. So Redlands will decline the penalty and they'll make a 4th down.
The 2 officials over here talking to the Redlands sideline. while the official's signaling that.
This is not that hard a decision here. Come on, officials, you got to know that. Yeah, this officiating crew has not distinguished themselves very well tonight.
Fourth down and 5, so
Back to receive the punt for the Bulldogs.
Chapman will
Number
punt.
6, Joseph Rosales.
Rosales back for Redlands.
Might as well try to block it.
Rosales has it at the 30. 35, takes a big hit.
Yeah, and then the player taunts Rosales. I mean, there's going to be one penalty. And
Well, there's 3 down here, and then we got one where the kick was made.
Well, the Chapman player almost hit Rosales with his helmet.
There's the
Yeah,
Chapman.
we got all kinds of things going on now.
The Chapman player that lost the helmet where the punt was made.
Well, we know one of the penalties is going to be taunting on Chapman. We know that. That'll be on sportsmanlike conduct. I'll say this, Chapman head coach Bob Owens, I think when he shows the tape, he'll have plenty of teaching lessons for his team. I think deep down, he's not too thrilled about the way things have gone tonight, even though Chapman's going to get the win.
Penalties are still laying up. Penalty flags are still laying everywhere.
Well, the taunting's a dead ball foul. We know that. Now, if the referee, if it's not asking too much for him to turn on his mic, we might get an explanation as to what the fouls are instead of having to interpret it ourselves.
Well, they're still sorting it out. Redlands is huddling up over on the sideline.
Well, we also could have possible ejection, too.
That's possible.
If one of the officials is getting a notepad on. And the official did not turn the mic on, of course.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, Redlands. Unsportsmanlike conduct, Chapman.
And after all that, we have no idea what the heck just happened.
No.
Thank you. Thanks for nothing.
Spotting this off might be interesting, too. So it looks like it's going to be Redlands' ball at the 30-yard line with 1:36 to go. You can hear the crowd voicing their displeasure.
Well, they should be. They don't know what's going on either. The referee didn't turn his mic on. The fans are wondering what the heck just happened too.
Jim Good is out there talking to the referee.
Yeah, and Jim's, I think, doing his best to constrain himself. Because it could take 10 minutes to try to explain what the heck just happened. Yeah, to borrow a phrase, I mean, all of us in the press box have the glazed donut look on our faces. This is just not good officiating. It just isn't.
Yeah, they haven't had a great night.
And you're being kind in saying.
Well, and it hasn't just been in the second half. I mean, it started early and it's been. All right, so Redlands is going to have the ball at their own 30-yard line. That's all we can tell you. They signaled unsportsmanlike conduct against both teams. And this pass is incomplete. So 2nd and 10. Breen was the intended receiver from McKee. McKee out of the pocket for a moment and then down at the 30-yard line.
McKee sacked by
Clock is running with 1:19 to go.
David Serrano.
One of the Redlands receivers has still got to get back to the line of scrimmage before they snap the ball.
McKee at the 30, the 35, tackled there. He'll bring up 4th and short.
Number 5, Jaden McKee with the keeper. Tackle on the play by number 0, Alexander Terrakas.
And McKee throws, tipped, intercepted. Return to the 40, 30, down the sideline, 20, 10, touchdown.
McKee's pass intercepted by number 32. 33, Harrison
Donato on the return.
And McKee just threw it right to him.
Chapman.
The 4th Redlands turnover of the night, all of them interceptions.
And all of them leading to touchdowns.
(31-10). (32-10) with the extra point kick.
The kick is good, and with 34 seconds left in tonight's game, score Chapman University Panthers 32, your University of Redlands Bulldogs 10.
So 34 seconds left. Chapman will kick off, and then that should be it. There will be plenty to work on again this week. Into the end zone, fair catch called.
So next week you got an 0-3 Laverne team against an 0-3 Redlands team. Quite honestly, Laverne has been more competitive in their 3 games than Redlands has.
Yeah, the Bulldogs have been outscored 94-13. And again, if that doesn't sound positive, it's not.
But it's the truth.
But it's the truth.
And it looks like a new quarterback in the game. That's the freshman Will Reed out of Portland.
Reed out of the pocket. Reed scrambling right. Intercepted. At the 35-yard line to the 30, the 25. And a flag down.
From number 10, Will Reed. Intercepted by Chapman.
5 intercept. Well, both teams, Laverne and Redlands, what do they have in common? Each team threw 5 interceptions.
Yeah. That'll be our part of the story behind the story going into next week.
Illegal crackback block is called on Chapman. So all that means is that they'll be closer to midfield when they take a knee to end this game. So Chapman, well, this will be the first snap they've had under center tonight, and it's going to be for a kneel down.
Yep. Yellen will put the knee down, and that should do it. 32-10 will be the final score as the seconds count off. We'll take a break, come back on the postgame show after this.
This concludes an exciting season opener here inside Ted Runner Stadium for 2024. We appreciate your passion and support tonight. Safe travels home, and we look forward to seeing you next Saturday, October 5th, here at Ted Runner Stadium, when the Bulldogs host the University of Laverne beginning at 7:05 p.m. Another big thank you to Mitch McClellan and Rick Malik of KMET 1490 AM Radio for covering Bulldog football all season, both at home and on the road. Please follow Bulldog Athletics on social media and GoRedlands.com. Thank you all once again for coming out tonight. Go Dogs. Fans, be sure to join us in the singing of the alma mater with the pep band.